Welcome. I really enjoyed that. That was good.
Did you enjoy it? I'm glad you enjoyed it.
So for those who are seeing this reaction happen in live time, that was the first time that I've seen that. I thought that was great.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
When you said you shortened the intro, I was thinking it was like the same old thing, just like cut down on time. But you didn't tell me you redid the intro.
Yeah, I got bored, and the fact that we're going to be talking about movies today, I was like, you know what? We got to come correct.
That was cool. I enjoyed it. Well, welcome to Slightly Unqualified. I am your host, your gracious host for the evening. I'm joined by Mateus and Conteus, also known as Steven. Gentlemen, how are we doing this week?
We're doing pretty good. I got through my third week of training. I'm ready to throw myself into a wood chipper. It is ridiculously boring, and people are asking the worst possible questions when we're trying to learn something. So, yeah. But besides that, my week's been pretty good, man. I've been home kicking it with the wife, caught up on some content. So I'm having a good week. What about you guys?
It's been good, Matt. I would say you probably can relate to this more than anyone, being surrounded by idiots who bring up horrible questions
every Thursday.
Every Thursday
at 9:45 or 7:45. Yeah.
All right, tell me about your week, brother.
Well, I'm no brother of yours, but I'm assuming that is directed towards me.
Damn, cold-blooded.
Wow.
No, honestly, this week has been. So today, as I was in the shower, as I often think about in the shower, you too, in tonight's podcast. I was trying to think what I was gonna say, like for this part of it, like what have I done this week? And I honestly don't know what I've done this week. I only remember like the last 3 days. I do know tonight I am excited for Travis Scott's album to come out. Yesterday, Drake announced his album coming out in 2 weeks, so pretty fun music-filled summer I think is about to come upon us. I stumbled upon a new podcast by a girl named Bobby Altoff. She's like a super, super awkward girl. But she somehow managed to get Drake on her 4th show of doing a podcast. So she's, I don't know if she's funny, but the podcast itself is hilarious, dude.
Is that the one where she did one with Yachty? That chick?
Yeah, she did Yachty this week.
Yeah.
Yachty just dropped yesterday. So I'm gonna watch that as well. I got into the Congress UFO stuff, which was a rabbit hole in its own. Caught up on my lovely cooking shows, which is. At the moment, The Great Food Truck Race, Master Chef, and what's the last one called? Crime Scene Kitchen, which is a Hulu one. But yeah, man, honestly, it's kind of like the start of sports seasons, like preseason for soccer started for me. It started yesterday. Barcelona played. The training camp for the Eagles started last week. We got an announcement today for some Kelly Greens, which I'm super excited for. My birthday is coming up. Siblings, if you're out there, Kelly Greens drop on August 1st. My birthday's August 2nd, so Kelly Greens are coming out. But yeah, man, looking forward to that. I haven't really done much this week that I can remember. I think what's happening now in this moment in time in my life is it's all a blur because my son is just like, when I'm not doing something, it's just like my son's time. And then when he's asleep and I'm not doing something, it's Call of Duty time. So I've been enjoying the new Call of Duty map, Vondel. Vondel's really good. That's a good map.
It is.
Really good map. Yeah.
Is this for Warzone or is this just a multiplayer map?
Multiplayer. I don't play Warzone unless it's with people.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Never get the invite. Gentlemen, my week has been pretty uneventful other than my son started 1st grade. That was pretty exciting.
Congrats, man. Congrats.
Already back in school. I don't know about you guys, but I grew up going back to school like September. Like never July. Like that's
what are you talking about? I was like mid-August, right? Matt?
No. So Andrew, you're from Gilbert and you're privileged is what we're hearing, and you get an extra month off.
At all.
Let's ask Andrew some questions and see if he was privileged. Do you know what a red ticket is?
A red ticket?
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let's just start here. This will end the entire conversation. Andrew, were you raised in the Mormon church?
I was.
Oh, boom. Taking care of his whole life.
Being privileged.
Yeah, because you got like 7 moms, man. They one did your hair.
Only have one mom. Only one mom, one dad. And not like an overly large family.
so red tickets were people with reduced lunch who couldn't pay for lunch. Your school would give you like tickets in the beginning of the year, and that would get you food. If you didn't have your ticket, you didn't eat. So
You never heard of you've heard of meal ticket.
Yeah, I've heard of a meal ticket. I've never
They
heard of a
called-
red ticket though.
At our
It's one
school,
and the
it
same.
was a red ticket. Yeah, they called it.
Mine was
ticket.
blue. But
Yeah. No,
sometimes
never-
I was
never
so
had that,
poor I
though.
had to ask someone else for their ticket.
Yeah, I get a.
Like, hey, brother, you eating today? No.
Yeah.
You get the ticket.
You had to play a game of rock paper scissors for those tickets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Paper, rock,
Yeah.
scissors.
Pretty much.
All right, well, let's jump into our first conversation. We're going to start with Marvel because it seems like Marvel TV is spiraling out of control. So, gentlemen, we have some fun things to talk about, but let's just start with a recap of Secret Invasion. Sorry. Is it done? I don't know. You guys know I
It's
haven't
done.
been watching this.
It's done.
Yes.
It's done. I saw
done.
something.
What'd
I'm
you see?
assuming I
Talk
saw
about
a quick.
Yeah.
Would you let me? Would you let me talk about it? I am the captain.
Can
No,
you
I'm
speak
just
about it, please?
kidding. I saw a little clip of what looked to be the main scroll girl.
Gaia.
Yeah, her being able to change into multiple different powers.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like they did like a super scroll version where she can change part of her bodies.
What do you know of those powers?
Of who they are or what?
Yeah.
Who they are and how they got them?
I don't know how they got them. I saw another clip of who it was. There was a Mantis in there. There was Drax. I thought I saw Gamora. Could be making that up though. But it seemed like a lot more of like cosmic characters. Thor was in there. Yeah, that's. I mean, I know there's more. I just can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay.
But so
Steven,
that's all I really know.
Steven's watched it.
I
I haven't watched it, but everything that I need to know about the finale I've seen, including how things have happened. But I'm gonna let Steven kind of explain it better because he actually just watched this show from start to beginning. But I'm disappointed in what happened. I'll start with that. But Steven, take it away.
Oh, wait. Before you start, Steven, I just want you to give us a scale 1 to 5 how good the show is.
So it started off at a good solid 6.
7, 8, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
like
it's
6.
1 to 5. That doesn't
one-
make sense already. 1 to 5.
You said 10.
No, I
You said
said
10,
1 to 5. Play it back. I said 1 to 5.
All right. Anyways, dude, we need a better host. You know what I'm saying? Anybody out there, all 4 of you guys watching, if you're into,
Just give me the boot.
so it was going there. I was getting hyped. Episode 1, episode 2, getting there. Then it started to peel off, and then right when it was about the climax, and I thought it was going the direction I wanted it to go, it just Game of Thrones all over the table, and.
Which is funny because Emilia Clarke, once again, you know.
Mhm.
Thank you for the reference. I'm glad you picked that up, Matt, and our host in it. But
I
it
was
just
letting
was.
you speak.
It was just the of an ending, and then I wrote to you guys like scratching my head. I don't know what's going on, and then Matt was like, "Not watching it. Saw the finale, and I'm over this." And I was like, "Is it that bad?" So after talking to Matt, we hung out for a little bit. That night I rewatched it, and yeah, dude, it was that bad. I found
Ruins it.
40 plot holes in like 3 seconds, and I was like,
Yes.
"This is stupid,
Yes.
dude." It was
It falls apart in the last episode, dude. It's freaking. And also, it almost fell apart in episode 4 when the whole roadie
Yeah.
thing happened. They recovered. Episode 5 is actually really good,
yeah, it's actually really good.
from what I've heard.
I thought I saw another clip
6,
of
man.
Rhodey
Oh.
getting like taken out of the scroll.
Yeah,
So-
that was the finale.
So the 2 things that drove me nuts about this
All right,
whole
we going
thing.
spoiler mode? Should
Yeah,
we put it
you-
out there?
Yeah. Well,
Hit the
thing that I'm gonna
spoilers.
Spoiler are
Spoilers of a
already
not
out.
very great show.
Yeah. So
Don't
one
waste your time.
about Rhodey being a scroll, so like the directors were saying it's been since forever he's been a scroll, and then they find him in the gown, so you got to know it's around Civil War. But then
Mhm.
now a lot of people are being like, no, it could have been after. It could have
After
been
Endgame.
Endgame. But the evidence is very lackluster. It's like it holds no weight. Even if you're like, okay, let's get conspiracy theory on this and like let's really get into it, it doesn't hold. It's
You don't. The thing is, you don't really know when. Like you
Yeah,
can't
you
definitively
don't.
say when. I think that the good news is they have Armor Wars to kind of cover that, which I think is the point. So like that question doesn't need to be answered right now.
And it's
But
irrelevant, really, to be honest.
if it's answered incorrectly, it completely ruins Rhodey's story from
Yeah.
Civil War forward. But Andrew, to explain to you real quick how they got the powers
The dumbest thing.
so Nick Fury sent Shield agents after the big battle in Endgame to collect DNA from
Shield or sword?
who cares? The same entity, the same agency.
I care. I care.
It doesn't matter. But of that same entity of people, he sent them down to go get DNA from the Avengers and everyone who fought there. Here's the thing that it's I'm not okay with two things. One, Cap would never agree to it. Two, Thor would never agree to it. Everyone else I could see agreeing to it. The thing is, on the screen when they're showing all the DNA they got, Thanos pops up.
How would he? He got dissolved.
Do you see the problem?
Yeah. And they're saying
unless they like picked up some of his dust.
So the other thing is Thor's axe, right? Dripping blood. He could have got it then. The thing is, though, I don't think Thor would agree to give anyone the DNA of Thanos, or even his own, for that matter.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, so that's to me, that's the big thing. Is one, you made this new super, like you made a character who is now begging to be nerfed because what do you do with her? You have to nerf her to make anybody. She has every power, like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you have to nerf her. So you have a character already who's already going to be nerfed to the ground. You have her. The way she gets her powers is kind of like pointless and like not. I don't even see Fury doing that.
It's just so much out of character things.
Is she a good character? She
ends up okay. So the Super Scroll at the end isn't her. It's not considered to be her. There's a different Super Scroll who she then fights and defeats. So she ends up like having some kind of redemption.
Her friend, the other guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Gravix.
Yeah,
Gravix.
Okay, and here's the crazy part: Gravix actually was a damn good character this entire show.
Literally.
Yeah, and the actor is great. They should have kept him.
He's in Barbie too, I think.
And it's complete opposite character. It's so good.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
So good.
The two people who stole the show were Gravik and the chick that looks like she was the headmistress from Harry Potter. You know, the chick who
the mysterious. Yeah,
I can't remember her name.
I don't know
those two are like the best characters in the whole show. I hope they don't end it and kill them off too late. They killed one of them. The other one teams up with the new Miss Amazing Everything.
Yeah,
and they kind
of just her name.
Yeah, Gaia. She kind of just goes off, and then they find out that there's millions more scrolls in pods. So it's kind of weird. But the thing that got me on this show was Nick Fury gave her the harvest that has everybody's blood samples, and he was just like, "Don't lose." And he just like, did she bank on her getting the powers? The bad guy did like the typical bad guy thing, was like, before I kill you, let me tell you my whole secret, and then let me give you powers as I get powers. It just didn't make any sense. And then another thing that was a huge plot hole is the whole town takes place on a radioactive site. So the reason humans can't go there is because it's radioactive, right? Well, all those people who were in pods for years are on a radioactive site, and none of them got cancer. None of them got. And then right when they're leaving, they're just like, "Oh, it's amazing!" But they show Nick Fury getting sick from walking there. It just there was so much stuff that didn't make any sense. But
and is he done?
The other thing they haven't even like addressed is how long was Ross a Skrull for?
Yeah,
that's like an important thing to know because he knows about everything. He knows about Wakanda. He dies, but like. How did this become a...
Wait, Thunderbolt Ross? Or you're talking about... Oh.
Yeah. So
Rest in peace, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it gets kind of weird that, like, then you see Nick Fury make out with an alien, and you're just like, how do I feel about this? You know what I mean?
How do you feel about Nick Fury making out with an alien?
It doesn't bother me.
This is a safe place.
No. I don't think
now
like that.
Have people under oath saying aliens exist, how does that make you feel?
What was weird about it is when I watched it, the alien things was kind of coming up, and I was like, "Is this Disney trying to like smooth it out for the world?" Like
Disney know things.
they knew it, dude. They're
No.
like, "Is Fury cool with it? Let's get everybody on board with it," you know. But nah, it was lackluster. It was terrible, man.
Oh, man's shaking his head.
It was weird though, dude. I was like, it's kind of awkward.
Again, I really haven't watched much of the show, but Maria Hill, she dies, right?
Oh, she dead. Like I thought she was coming
Immediately.
back. Yeah, in the first episode.
Yeah, I don't think I got that
No,
far.
it's episode 2, no?
No, I think
episode 2, I
it's
think.
episode
First one.
1.
Yeah, she does.
I think it's like the end of
Yeah.
the first one.
Good heavens, how long is this show?
I thought it was. I thought it was on week 5,
is
but
one.
it was week 6. Yeah.
So the consensus, has this show gotten good ratings, reviews?
Okay,
No.
so well, here's the thing. Okay, and this
That's
is
what I'm at on this one.
when it gets to TV shows, the ratings get sticky because you can't really rate an entire show. They do it episode by episode.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like 80%, 80%, like 70%, 20%, because episode 4 was the roadie thing.
Yeah.
Like 60 or 70% the next one, episode 5. Episode 6 is like 10%.
Oh wow!
It is
Yeah,
like
it's
the worst rated
terrible.
TV
No,
show.
it's like that bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it just they made more holes. They were like, the ship is sinking with these plot holes. How do we fix it? Let's
Release
just
the
stab
holes.
they just stab a couple more in, and then it'll be like, hopefully nobody notices that why we just give this chick all the powers and everybody's cool.
Mhm.
It was just
I do want
Yeah,
to say
it
one
made no
thing.
sense.
People that are judging the show need to judge it correctly. What they did here was not a retcon. They didn't retcon anything.
no.
Retcon means you change the course of what happened in the past. This doesn't change anything that's happened. It just changes how we look at things. So retcon is not the correct word for him going back and taking DNA, or for even Rhodey being a scroll for as long as he's been.
Yeah.
That's not a retcon.
Which we don't really know how
'cause
long
it didn't-
it's scroll.
Yeah, it's just not a retcon though. It's just that's the wrong word to use. People are driving me nuts because I'm like,
Mhm.
it's not.
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
Yeah, it's definitely not a retcon, but it is disappointing to say the least. When I didn't even see how he got the DNA until like yesterday. When I saw the Gaia thing, I was like, nope, don't even need to see it. I bag on Game of Thrones people for going through 8 years of watching the show just to be disappointed. I'm not going to be the person that's going to go back 3 weeks and watch worth of shows
Mhm.
to be disappointed because it's just not worth my time at that point.
Right.
Yeah, it was weird, man, because he in episode 5, he puts the black trench coat on. He has all this hidden stuff. Right when you thought Nick Fury had no hands, no cards left to play, he pulls out this crazy speech, this super high tech thing. You're just like, oh hell yeah, Fury's
Fury.
back.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, no, I'm gonna go fight the Secret Service in
space.
No, I'm going to go fight the Secret Service that are protecting the president in a hallway that looks like it was shot at Safeway. You know what I mean? Like, it was so budget friendly. It was crazy. I felt like we could have came up with a better hospital. You know what I mean? Like, there was 3 people there protecting the president. Really? Like, aliens tried to kill the president or Russia did, and you have 3 people? Like, things just didn't feel important.
It really sucks because this show was actually good, and like this show was good, and it could have been like, okay, the MCU actually has another good show in their hands, but it's just poor writing.
Mhm.
All it came down to at the end. At the
Yeah.
end, they're like, we don't know how to wrap this up, so it's almost as if, and this isn't like true because it's not, the timeline doesn't fit up. It's almost as if they wrote episodes 1 through 5. Then the writer's strike happened, and and Kevin Feige was like in there writing it on his own. So
Yeah,
not
yeah,
that happened,
exactly.
because like it can't, but that's what it feels like happened. They had someone write it episode 1 through 5, and then like you can go, we'll do 6 on our own, and they just like butchered it completely.
So my question and kind of where the conversation is to go. Again, last week we talked about this probably being some of the more rough times of Marvel.
Dark Ages, dude.
Does that make you guys a little skeptical of what's to come with the Marvels, the next upcoming projects? Or are you guys, because I mean, it's been like Ant-Man and the Wasp was supposed to be like the next huge banger, and it really wasn't. This had potential, didn't really pan out.
I think the downfall of Marvel is not going to be this show. The downfall of Marvel is going to be the fact that you have to watch three shows and a movie to even get to where you're at there. The two shows being WandaVision and Miss Marvel, and now Secret Invasion, and then Captain Marvel to get to this point. I think that's going to be the crux of it, because of those shows, only one was really well received. Even though I like Miss Marvel a lot personally, it wasn't the highest rated show in the world, and people rate it kind of low. So at least WandaVision being the most exciting thing of those three shows, and the least important of those three shows going into this movie. But that's good. I think it's gonna be bad because of that, not because I think it's gonna be a good movie. I genuinely do.
I'm hoping, very hopeful,
and I'm giving Brie Larson a second chance here, because the first one wasn't terrible. It's just that she didn't understand comic books, and she thought she did, and she was very ignorant about it when she first came out. I think she's kind of receded some of that power, because Iman Vellani is there, and she's gonna put the hammer down about what's comic accurate and what isn't. But I just think the crux of it's going to be, if you haven't followed along, this movie is going to make you lost, and people are not interested in it unless you've seen Miss Marvel or WandaVision, and now Secret Invasion. So it will be bad because of that. I don't think it'll be a bad movie. It'll be poorly.
Yeah, I think people are just going to have a hard time connecting with even Rambo. What's her name?
Monica Rambeau.
Yeah. Just because without WandaVision, you don't really don't understand much.
Yeah. And she's a great character, by the way.
Yeah, definitely a great character. The rumor mill I was talking to Matt about the other day is there's the rumor mills that they're thinking about pushing it back again. That's what scares me. I really hope they don't push it back. I hope they stand on what they're doing and go for it. And I hope that I don't want them to try to change things, because this show didn't get the praise that they thought it was going to get. But at the same time, dude, they need to step up the writing. And I know they're in a writer's strike right now. It's the worst time to ask for that, but they need to go back to putting it together or something, dude. Because I think they're coming at this now with we can't miss, and they're missing. I'm giving them grace with 2 or 3 episodes or shows and a movie or here and there, but I haven't really enjoyed any Marvel content since the end of Loki. That's the last thing I can write home about. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So it's kind of a good
Miss Marvel.
Oh yeah, I take that back. You're right. I did like Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel, Moon Knight. Those are good shows.
Moon Knight was good. So this is kind of a good segue into our next topic, which was brought up by the GOAT Matthew. So we're going to talk about which MCU show is the most rewatchable. But I'm going to throw a tweak in there, because the little picture that you said really only has the main Marvel Studios one. I'm going to throw Netflix in there, the Netflix series, and the stuff that came out on Hulu. So you got
The Outsiders,
them, and shoot, why am I forgetting?
What you can forget it, because if you can't remember, it's probably not top tier. So
it's really not top tier. I know I'll see it here in a second. Let me pull it up. You have things like there it is, the Inhumans, the Runaways, Legion.
Which are both good shows. Runaways and Legion, pretty good shows. There's also there's
Agent Carter.
Agent Carter's good. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There's also a mutant show that came out in FX. But
New Mutants.
The reason why I didn't include those, Edgar, is because they weren't MCU projects.
Yeah, they were Marvel.
Man, but they weren't MCU projects. There's a difference.
Well, let's start with.
Because then we got to count Amazing Spider-Man, the TV show, animated series, and
all right. Let's start with MCU, and then let's talk about Marvel in a broader spectrum. So we can do this main MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe TV show. For me, the most rewatchable.
Don't forget What If is there too as well.
Yeah, What If is really good. However, I really like Moon Knight. I think it's different enough to be something that doesn't have to feel connected, to where you don't have to be up to speed with what's going on in Marvel. I think Oscar Isaac is just a great actor.
Yes.
I think the CGI, the animation was great. Story was great. Absolutely loved the villain. Ethan Hawke. I was drawing a blank on his name, but he was a fantastic villain.
You drew a blank on Ethan Hawke.
It just roll with it.
You're a sick man.
I got it. I recovered. It was a little stumble. We're back in it. I just think like from like a standalone show,
Yeah,
it had everything in that you could go back and you could watch over and over again without feeling like you have to get in the mood to watch something versus like a WandaVision. You have to like kind of get in. Okay, why is she feeling this way? Loki, why? I thought he was dead. Now he's not. You know, there's all these different arguments that you can make for almost every other show. But that's my take. I think Moon Knight, and I'm going to eliminate that from your guys' choices because that could be the easy one for all three of us to say.
That's
too bad.
I'm your game. That's not how this works.
I'm the host. It gets to go however.
all right, you take it, Matt. You take it, Matt.
My answer is not Moon Knight. So, and if it was, I would completely override it, being that I'm on the admin account on this team.
So just to let you know, so we have this power. It's called the mute button. See how you're muted and you can't say anything? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's a good pick. I think Moon Knight was great.
I go. Rewatchability is hard for me because I can rewatch a couple of these shows. I think my go-to be Loki easily. Loki had by far the best payoff of any show, an event journey that you go along, and there is multiple things that keep you engaged. From the first episode, it being like a different Loki you're chasing, and then two episodes later, you get down to the Loki you're chasing is a female version of yourself. You finally catch her, and now you're stuck together somewhere else. It then morphs into a different villain, so it's constantly engaging. The payoff is amazing at the end. I mean, like just Jonathan Major's performance in that short span of 45 minutes is some of the best acting in all of the MCU history. So that's my go-to, but I caveat that with two things. One, if I want like a fun kind of like, man, this is just a fun ride, I'm going with What If all day. What If is great. And then the cool thing about What If that I want to relive again over and over again is that you don't know it connects until the Ultron episode. And it just becomes this great, like, it's a comic book. It's what I said a couple weeks ago. It's these standalone episodes and shows that have no connection until boom, it finally connects without any kind of warning or whatsoever. So it's the most comic book Philly one out of all of them. It's animated, so it's easier to do it that way. And then the last caveat is if it's Christmas time, I'm in a Christmas mood, I'm going Hawkeye. Because Hawkeye is a Christmas show, and it's great.
You know what's crazy is I stand behind that, man. I as weird as it is, I really enjoyed Hawkeye.
I like
Hawkeye. I pinkies out with everything you just said, Matt. Loki's the rewatchable one here. Hawkeye is my Christmas joy. If I could burn two and never have to rewatch them again, I would be She-Hulk. And I'm not gonna lie to you, as hyped as I was for this show, I really wish they didn't come out with Secret Invasion. I'd rather watch Falcon Winter Soldier 300 times before watching because they gave somebody they gave a scroll almost every power and just kind of what'd you do? You know what I mean? Like I don't know how they're gonna change. I don't know. But yeah, She-Hulk, I really wish they would have nailed She-Hulk, and I really wish I wanted to love this because I think the character is amazing. But I think they shit the bed hard, dude, on an easy home run with Secret Invasion, and I just think they shit the bed.
And it wasn't the last episode. It hurts me so much, dude.
Yeah, dude.
They had it.
It was like
they had it.
I think the problem is you have and you get this effect with Civil War too, where that name, the title alone, brings so much weight behind it, to where it's like this.
But they had it. They
had it, dude. It was
doesn't matter.
Touched the tips. It was there, dude. They could have ended the ride on a B+, and I would have been stoked, dude. A B+, or if they had they just had Captain America, Captain Marvel show up, or Miss Marvel, or something to just, oh, the Marvels is next, let's go. And it just,
I don't even care about that. They could have ended episode at episode 5 with the same post-credit scene of
that's a good
Fury
point.
collecting the DNA, and that would have been a great ending. They didn't have to go the Gaia route. Really ruins everything. I'm telling you,
it does, dude, and it's so disappointing. Like I feel like Matt made a point. They were just like in the break room, like, what do we do? And then someone's like, I got Chat GPT on my phone. And they were just like,
exactly
let's throw some things at Chat GPT and see what happens. And then they were like, okay, let's add the Dragon Lady from Game of Thrones. Let's add superpowers and then plot holes. And they were just like,
okay. It's like imagine Ben 10. Imagine Ben 10, right? Where he can be one superhero at a time, and then at the very last episode, he can be all of them at once.
Yes,
it's like
that sounds really good.
That
10. Sounds like a show that I would watch.
No, and then add this during the show, the episodes. Ben 10 gets his arm blown off and then regenerates it, right? And you're just like, oh, he can regenerate. But then at the end fight, he gets his stomach blown open, and then he's like, I can't regenerate that. And he dies. And you're just like, what? He's been regenerating this whole, you know what I mean? Like, and then now he's dead? Like,
stomach's a soft spot.
He gets a spike through his heart and he regenerates. And then I was like, okay.
There's only one place that man deserves to go. Matt, you might know. It's to the mines. You go.
Oh, gosh. Oh, God. Oh, right, I want Anson next so bad.
Let's broaden our scope here because this is where it's gonna get fun. So beyond the MCU, let's just talk about Marvel shows in general.
I'm going first this time.
All right, let me read you a list real quick.
And the ones I say you can't say.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna crush your soul.
That's my no. You can only pick one.
Oh,
I only pick one.
So I go first. Steven, you go second, and the ones you pick, you can't pick.
That's fine.
Oh, what are we? Wait, we're looking up just regular Marvel shows.
No, I'm gonna give you a list right here. So we have, just as a refresher, we have Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Iron Fist, The Punisher, The Defenders, WandaVision. Let's skip that one. Agent Carter, Runaways, Inhumans, Legion, Cloak and Dagger. I never watched that.
Don't watch Cloak and Dagger.
Not worth it.
It's really bad.
Let down, dude. Like,
it's a freeform TV show. Just put it that way.
I think this is the one that you were thinking of, Matt. The Gifted.
No, that's the X-Men one.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I'm a mind freak on that one.
I think that's everything.
And we're giving like the best one out of all of them?
No. It doesn't have to be the best one. The one that you would go back and rewatch.
Oh, okay. This is a hard one, dude, because there's a lot of shows in there that suck.
And
there's two that are clearly above the rest.
There's really only a couple that are.
And I'm taking the more difficult one that no one thinks of, because I want you to take the easy one, Steven. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but I want Andrew to not have these two shows. Okay,
Steven, you better not poop the bed on this.
You can put, and they relate. Okay, I'll put it that way. They relate to each other. That should be really. This should be really easy for you. Okay.
He's gonna strike out. Look at him.
The most rewatchable non-MCU. The most rewatchable non-MCU TV show is The Runaway. No, I'm joking. It's The Punisher, man. The Punisher easily.
Dang it.
Punisher is easily the.
So good.
It's just. It's it. I don't have to say anything else. It might be the most perfect casting besides Tom Holland and RDJ for a character.
Oh yeah.
Not just for a character in the MCU, period. Like it goes hand in hand. So Punisher is my answer. It's just. I mean, I don't have to say anything. Whoever's seen the Punisher, they know. They know.
So good. Yeah. So good. So I'm just gonna sidetrack a little bit, just because I was watching a podcast with John Berthal.
That's his
last name.
Yeah.
So
real ones.
Yeah, he was talking about, he was doing this show, and he's filming this scene where there's this big crowd fight, and he's got riot gear, and he's been rehearsing with a whole bunch of the stunt guys. He knows everyone by name, and out of the corner of his eye, he sees this guy with long dreads running at him as fast as he can. He's like, I don't know who this is. I know literally everyone here by name, but I don't know who this is. And then in the shot, they start fighting, and he thinks in his mind, like, this guy's going to, like, he's going to full on punch me. And so he blocks it with his riot shield, and the riot shield hits him, and it cuts him. And he's like, okay, if this guy's going to hit me, like, I'm going to hit him back. So he full on hits him with the right jab, square in the eye, finishes the scene, looks over, the guy's profusively bleeding, and the guy comes up and he goes, man, you're a real one, and gives him a hug. And while that happens, 3 police officers are running towards him. The guy turns around and runs away. He wasn't a part of it. He just saw the shot going, ran up,
That's
punched him, and then gets bleeding and runs away. But,
Dude, that guy's crazy, dude. I love that guy's podcast, man. I listen to it all the time.
It's so fun to watch, too.
Listen to me. I'm giving you a layup here, Steven. I don't want Andrew to have either one of these shows.
This is
okay.
I'm kind of nervous because
it's gonna make his job impossible after this. I need you to take the layup.
Not impossible. No.
Tag me in real quick then, because I don't think I have it. The only thing I want to see is nothing to do with Daredevil, and
don't hurt me.
I mean,
he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
Is Punisher? I mean,
here we go.
Gonna butcher it.
Let's hear it.
And let me say this too before you go. It doesn't only connect to this show. It probably is just the best Marvel show out of the list.
Mm-hmm. Hands down. Like you could have easily said this one, but you left it for him to not mess this up.
Because I was going to say Punisher. I was going to say Punisher. Then I would have to say after watching the 2 out there, he would have to be Agent Carter for me or Daredevil, but
pick one.
I'm gonna say I enjoyed Daredevil more than Agent Carter.
Thank the heavens.
Yeah. Those are the only 2 that I liked. After every other show, I started 2-3 episodes and I quit. So
The Runaways actually is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, and so is The Gifted. Gifted isn't terrible. It's just really bad, like CGI. And Legion, for it being like Legion, is actually
super
pretty
weird too.
Yeah. So before we get Andrew's bad take, Matt, out of this list, what was one that was like that you were anticipating this is going to be good, and then like the biggest letdown for you?
Oh,
I think Andrew knows what it is. It's Iron Fist.
What was it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's anonymous.
The crazy part about Andrew knows this. The crazy part about it is that I wanted to love it so much. I was convinced I was good.
He was trying so hard.
I was trying to convince Andrew it's a good show and how good not how good of a Danny Rand he was, because he really wasn't a good Danny Rand, comically speaking.
He wasn't like a horrible Danny Rand though.
But I was trying to tell him how good like the Iron Fist mantra was with this guy.
Yeah.
But he was a very bad Danny Rand. And honestly, the first season isn't terrible. It's the second
season.
Like it's pretty bad.
Oh man.
I think I did the exact same thing. I saw the first couple episodes and I was like, I'm open minded. Like this is let's hear it out. And then towards the end of that season, I was like, okay. And then the next season came and I was like, dude, this is dog shit. like this is bad. Like third season of Arrow bad. Like, you know what I mean? They just got
real bad.
Third season Arrow? What's third season Arrow?
I think it's what's the one where the boss guy dies and then they comes back and then that's when everybody starts coming back and then the sister becomes
Damien
Dark.
Damien Dark. See?
Yeah, it's when everybody started dying and then coming back. I was like, I'm out of this.
Off topic. What's the best season? For me, it's the Adrian Chase season.
I stopped watching it after season 4.
I didn't get
Dude, you guys need to watch the Adrian Chase season.
It gets pretty good or what?
It gets to the point where it's one of those ones where they know who each other are. I know your Arrow, I know your Prometheus, and we can't do anything about it because they work side by side every single day. Like they work together literally. And it's one of those things where it's like, I know who you are, you know who I am, and we can't do anything to stop each other right now. And it ends in a crazy. You guys need to watch that season. Damn good season.
I have to go back and watch it.
Maybe, but we're not talking about that right now. We're getting Steven's reason why he's picking Daredevil over Agent Carter.
I would say a Daredevil because, to be honest with you, growing up, I was just a huge Daredevil fan. The comics, it always reminded me of like, one, there's a connection to the Ninja Turtles, so I was always like, oh, this is cool. The Ninja Turtle connection. And then growing up, I always thought his suit looked dope. So I really wanted to like the show. and it was like the first for Netflix. Like
It's a cool suit, and the
Yeah,
batons
it-
are so cool, dude.
So
fire,
cool.
dude.
And
I just really enjoyed it.
honestly, I feel like season 1 was so good. Season 2, even better. Season 3, awesome. Like it's
Yeah.
one of those that it didn't feel like it was slowing down. All right, gentlemen. Well, you've left me with a very hard decision to
I was
make.
gonna say Jessica Jones. How
No,
sad.
I'm not going to say Jessica
I was
Jones.
gonna say Agents of Shield. How sad.
No.
He might even say Inhumans. How sad.
It has to be Inhumans.
I see.
Give
I watched
me-
it for a couple, and I
Give
quit.
me Inhumans.
Not. It's not. It's don't. You did the right thing on that one. my
So
friend.
good. You have Medusa who gets her hair cut off. And
Won't put Medusa's bald.
bald though. It's
Bald.
like they
Like-
realized that the CGI budget was going to be too much, so they had to
Yeah.
cut her hair in the second episode.
Like Jason Bald, Steven. Bald.
Why? That make no sense.
She gets her hair shaved off,
And Lockjaw's like nowhere to be found for like a long time.
and when he is just horribly
The worst looking thing in the world.
horrible. But who could forget the girl who doesn't have CG hair? It just looks like they took her hair, spray painted it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Anyways, continue with
So-
what your good show is.
Okay, so what I have to choose, and again, I am been given the scraps, but honestly, I really liked the Luke Cage show. I didn't feel like it was too bad. I feel like the end of the second season, where it was like everything was getting canceled, and they were like, well, it's not happening. But like the music,
Music was good.
yeah, just the overall vibe. And I think from like a casting standpoint, he was such a good cast as Luke Cage. Like he just fit the bill. What I'm trying to remember his name. I know there's a C. His last name starts with a C.
I feel like you're missing the best guy out of that whole show with Cottonmouth.
Cottonmouth, yeah. No, I was gonna get
Cottonmouth.
there.
Oh, okay.
Cottonmouth was awesome. Like he was such a good villain too.
But how they killed him off was just a waste. Like,
Yeah, I mean they wanted to focus on Mariah.
yeah, but it's
So
like,
can we ask a question real quick about that?
Yeah.
If Luke Cage is an MCU show, how are they going to handle that Mahershala Ali thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
because
'Cause he's
that's the
Cottonmouth.
show.
He's
Yeah,
Blade now.
I mean,
And they reference Thor, Hulk, and
Mhm.
Iron
Not
Man
really.
in that
No, like
show.
all those shows have been acknowledged to be a part of the MCU. The
Yeah.
problem is that Blade's going to come in, and it's the same actor that played Cottonmouth.
Yeah,
yeah.
he did.
Yeah,
so-
I don't think they'll have a problem with it. I think enough time has passed since he's played it.
Then bring me Fassbender back, please,
I know
for X-Men,
Magneto
please.
is so good. Let him do justice.
Please.
I don't know, Matt. What are your thoughts on Luke Cage? What did you think?
It's all right.
And who could forget? What's the Jamaican guy's name?
I really wanted
The Bushmaster. Yeah, he was
yeah.
good too.
Yeah, the Bushmaster is good. That would have been a cool tie-in with What About Him in Midnight. They didn't.
Mhm.
I don't know. Luke Cage like Jessica Jones for me. I know it's a good show because actually it's like when you watch it, it's good. But I just never had an interest in it.
Mhm.
Jessica
I really
Jones
wanted the old school Afro Luke Cage with the half button down shirt and the chain belt at some point, but I never got it. So it kind of broke my heart.
No, you got a little bit of Power Man though when he's escaping the
What's the
Hey,
chain belt? The chain
Hey
belt.
Matt, what was the uncle's name from Snowfall? Remember the main character's uncle? What was his name?
Scully's uncle?
No. What's the dude? His uncle. He has a big fro. He's like the big muscle dude. He looks like he would be a good
Uncle Jerome?
Yeah, Uncle Jerome. Uncle Jerome looked like that. You know what I mean? He always had that cigarette with that weird afro. I was like, dude,
he actually like that would. Okay, so imagine Uncle Jerome with that
Yeah.
chain belt. That's
that's
what I
what I'm
wanted.
saying. That would have
Luke
been
Cage to
fire,
be.
dude.
Yeah.
You know, just that like over the top, like I'm a
Oh my
badass.
gosh.
Yeah, that would have been
Mhm.
so sick.
Here comes
yeah.
Markel in my chat.
Oh man.
His favorite characters.
Here we go.
No particular reason.
Of course.
There you go.
Interesting.
Who's your favorite villain? He's like the Prowler. The Prowler, Killmonger.
Killmonger, man. I think he might be one of my favorite villains.
He's gonna say those two, but that's about it. I don't like the other ones.
All right.
All right, so, it's derailing right now. I gotta reel this back in, but this is how it goes when I'm the host. So let's kind of switch topics. We've talked a lot about TV. Let's talk about the movies. Matt, we know you haven't seen Oppenheimer yet. Neither have I. I need to.
Neither have I.
But we had a very big weekend.
Sorry, continue.
What was the number?
I just saw it.
It's hard not to react to that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely putting that up there on the street right there. Look at that. Hey.
I think we need to take a moment here real quick to acknowledge that I think we need Markel on the cast one day for as a guest.
Yeah, dude, for sure, man.
Coming in here wreaking havoc.
Yeah.
I'm in for it. All in favor.
We should just do a roast my favorite something. Where
and
somebody brings up something favorite, and we just roast the shit.
We just need to bring him on for a reoccurring segment, and have him be the villain, and underneath him, just the villain. Doesn't matter what we're talking about, the villain.
Yeah, let's go see what the villain wants.
Yeah, and instead of him,
he's ringing.
It's like the silhouette from Deal or No Deal.
It's like what they did to 21 Savage on the Call of Duty game. It's just like the outline.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, so we had Barbie that has done 337 million over the opening weekend, and we had Oppenheimer. I always say this wrong. Oppenheimer, 175 million. Gentlemen, do we think that the movie?
Those are two different numbers. So real quick,
I
want to give the one's domestic. The domestic one, I believe, for Oppenheimer. Right?
Yeah.
No? Yeah. The other one, Barbie, that was worldwide.
Yeah, no, you said they're both worldwide.
Okay, then both worldwide. Then that's fine. Well, I want to say something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Barbie's been open for 5 days now. I want to give you an update on what the total is worldwide. Yes. 500 million.
Mm-hmm.
They've made $100 million a day. Anyways, do I think movies are back? I think studios, how they react to this is going to tell us.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mattel. And we can get into it if you want to, but I think Mattel is doing the wrong thing. Okay,
putting all their eggs in one basket.
These two films are telling you that we like these original, independent ideas that are not attached to anything.
Mm-hmm.
Oppenheimer was that, Barbie was that, and they blew all these attached films and franchises out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
And what does Mattel do? It's like a Mattel universe. Let's make Rock'em Sock'em. Let's make Hot Wheels. Let's make Barney. Let's make Polly Pocket. Let's make them all attached.
They did Rock'em Sock'em already. Didn't they do that with a Hugh Jackman movie where they
that
made
was Real Steel?
Oh, Real Steel,
which is mid. But anyways, well, the Medusa one is. Anyways, the point is how they react to this is how it's going to tell. So let's say I don't even know what the studio was that made Oppenheimer. I just know Christopher Nolan did.
Isn't that
whatever that's
Syncope?
Sure, it sounds right to me. No, it's Universal.
Oh, you're talking about the
distributor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if all of a sudden Universal goes, hey, let's do all of these historic timepieces that have to do with war-based weapon invention. Let's say they do like a tear gas one or something like that. Then they're going to be doing what people are not asking them to do.
Mm-hmm. We
like these original one-off films that are not copy pastas of other films and that don't attach to anything, that there's no cliffhanger. It is what it is, and it's just good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're already losing sight of what's making these two films good, and that's what it is. Some movies could be back. I think they're going to have people coming back in to watch movies. The sustainability of it, one, with the strikes going on, I have no clue how it's going to affect it next year. But then two, like if they don't make the correct decision, which is giving us original pieces, they're going to be, if they go back into the same title they've been doing, which is just franchising and bringing back old movies that no one asked you to bring back, then no, this is not going to save cinema. But on the flip side of it, you have things like Top Gun Maverick last year and Mission Impossible 5 this year being blockbuster hits. So the studio's getting mixed messages. I think the gist of it is give it enough time and not shove down our throats MCU, these films could work. And if they don't, we want original one-off films.
Right. Don't be afraid of the original script.
Yes.
No, I completely and 100% agree with that. I think what we're gonna see, like a Magic 8-Ball film, who's asking for that?
And what is it going to be?
What are you gonna do? Like,
isn't that just Jumanji?
No,
Yeah, I was just gonna say that is Jumanji.
You know it's gonna be some weird where like this person finds this Magic 8-Ball and whatever they answer is it happens, and then it's gonna be stupid like that.
It sounds like a mixture of Jumanji and Adam Sandler's bedtime stories.
That and Click, where you get to control a little bit of the time.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have a question for both of you guys, and give me your honest opinion. How many Barbie movies do you think they dropped?
I think they dropped this one and they dropped Ken, because Gosling was way too damn good to not have a Ken film.
So do you think it's just gonna be a Ken by itself, or do you think it's gonna be like Barbie and Ken kind of thing?
The way this movie ended, they're separate. Mm-hmm. The only thing I fear is that Ken did have enough screen time here, and his story did come from a beginning to an end, so they don't really need to add anything to his character. So you're in danger of ruining that ending and kind of taking from that in the wrong way. Only way I sign off on it is if Greta Gerwig's back, which is not going to be for a men empowerment film. Mm-hmm. The only thing I see coming from this film is a Ken film. If that happens, and they don't bring someone like Greta Gerwig with that sense of humor, which she has a crazy sense of humor, by the way, if you watch the movie, then I'm on board with it. Otherwise, just leave it alone. Leave it alone. There should not be Barbie 2 specifically because of how this one ended.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying. We were talking about it at work, and my boss would love the movie. She was like on and on about it. And I was like, I asked her that question. I was like, do you think there should be a Barbie 2? And she's like, as much as I would love to get into that world again, she's like, no, this movie will be perfect if they just leave it the way it is. So I was like, well, it's kind of interesting.
That doesn't make money.
I know, that's the only thing, man.
I think Ryan Gosling wins an Oscar. I'm not even going to hold you.
No way.
I think he wins the best supporting actor Oscar.
Oh, that's crazy.
And this movie's for sure going to win best comedy. It's for sure going to win best costume. And I could see it getting a nomination nod and probably be top 3 in voting for best picture.
I could see that.
But Oppenheimer's going to win best picture, I think.
We got Barbie for best picture right here.
The villain strikes.
It's good, dude. Remember what I told you guys? I think Greta Gerwig might be able to ground these characters. She grounds the characters, and it's like, dude. And remember I told you it's gonna be some serious notes when Barbie cries in the trailer. I was like, that something's happening there.
That you know.
It's in the trailer. Something happens there, and I haven't given anything away. But that scene was exactly what I thought it was gonna be, like a beautiful realization of what's actually happening here and how she fits into the real world, kind of a thing. So Greta Gerwig did an amazing job. My wife cried about 4 times and laughed in between each cry. I'm talking like hysterical. We both hysterically laughed the entire time. It's not for kids. Would not take a kid to see it, I don't think. The very first big joke in the first 10 minutes of the film is the Kens telling each other they're gonna beach each other off. I'll beat you off. I'll beat you off. Let's have a beach off. So
that's really funny.
Not for kids, but that's like the first 10 minutes. And from there, I'm like, okay, this is exactly what I knew it was going to be. And I'm excited for it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then, dude, they're hitting it right on the head, too, because I think in a couple months, the Natal theme park is going to be done in the West Side. So they're already showing that there's a Barbie house that's like with a ride or two.
Gentlemen, not only that, so me and my wife went to the mall this weekend. The amount of we went to Chandler Fashion. The amount of the amount of Barbie clothing, literally almost every store, main display Barbie.
Yeah, they're running that. They got to run it, dog. They got to run it.
It's genius.
I told my boss how good it was, the movie, on Monday, and then on Wednesday I come in with a pink shirt. Not related. It's just a Tom and Jerry shirt that it's pink. And dude, this Indian man, my boss, went in on me, bro. And he's like, "Oh, I see Barbie influenced you, huh?" And I was like, it's just a
It's a
pink
Tom
shirt.
and Jerry shirt.
And this is the first time I had shoes. I had Tom and Jerry shoes that match, and they're brown, but they have a little bit of pink on them. He looks down and goes, "Oh, and the matching heels." And then he walked away, and I was like, "Man, I should eat my lunch. My watermelon, just trying to eat it." But yeah,
And the
Pretty funny
watermelon.
though.
and the
That
water.
is pretty funny.
All right, let's change topics again. Let's pass the baton over to our expert, the man up to my top right, left.
However you're watching this,
That definitely is your left, but
Whatever.
it's all good though. We understand it. Favorite part opera.
It's
Is it
oppen time. I don't think that happened.
Yeah, and then they pulled out their little things, and they're like pterodactyl, and then they turned into like the Power Rangers. No, all right, cool. All right, so speaking of weird, crazy shit, today we found out there was aliens, or this week we found out there was aliens.
Oh, this is where we're going. All right.
We're going with the expert topic. We're going hard into the conspiracy theory here.
it's not a conspiracy theory anymore.
This is under oath, my friend.
This
This is
under
under
oath.
oath. So this is saying that we have
Extraterrestrials.
There you go, my good man. So I want to know from the panel of geniuses over here that we are slightly unqualified or slightly qualified to talk about conspiracy theories, and if you believe in one, or we have one that you stand on saying, I think that is true. So
Man,
do you guys
it's
have
fun
any?
enough.
And I'm going to list them off if you guys don't have one, and you guys tell me if you think it's true or not. Okay?
Do I have
Some
a
of them-
conspiracy theory? Let me think.
Okay, let me start. Let me just get it out of
All
the
right,
way.
let's get it out of there.
This is good. All right. Okay, so I
Keep it short and
believe
sweet.
that this is real. That there's, I don't know if it's specifically little green guys with giant eyes. I think the universe is too big to not have some other kind of life. But this is where it's gonna get weird.
Man.
So when me and my buddy were in high school, we were walking home at like
You guys
2
beaching
o'clock
each
in the
other
morning. No, there's no beaching going on. We both saw, and we will swear to it this day, that we saw this orb that was bright red come
Sure.
fly down
Sure.
and then fly off. And we both
Fly
looked at each
down.
other. I swear to you, on my mother's grave, like, this happened. And ever since then, I've been like, totally, like, there's no way that you can't explain it. And we both looked at each other and were like, I don't know what that was.
So do you believe that it was an alien? Do you believe in it was like a weird spirit demon creature thing?
No, I don't think
What
it was
do
a weird spirit demon. I think it was an alien.
So you think aliens were in a little small orb? How close did they get to you? Did
it wasn't close. It was like very far away in the sky, but it was like not like a laser pointer, not like anything that could be made, and it was just like, and then shot up into the sky really fast.
So Matthew, hearing this story from our slightly unqualified friend here, do you think it's true? And destroy this, or give me your honest opinion on this.
Do I think what he's what he's saying is true?
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, look, man. How old were you?
15.
No, definitely not true. Definitely not true. Man was off the shrooms.
No,
Yes.
there was no shrooms.
He also lived in Gilbert, where they're rich enough to have drones at that time. So
No,
let's say
this was way before drones. This was way before drones.
that is a good conspiracy theory of believing in aliens. Matt, what about you?
Well, I have two. I don't. Okay, so I like Steven knows this. Conspiracy theories I don't really do because I just like
I know you don't.
I pick apart the not the logic per se, but the evidence, quote unquote. Because I always just ask, okay, why? Like,
Yeah.
what's the reason for them doing this? Then, like, it doesn't make sense logically speaking. To the motive why someone does conspiracy theories, quote unquote. There's no motive behind it. Like, why fake the moon landing? Like that kind of stuff.
Because
Anyways,
they told us.
so I do have one that I strongly believe in though. And I do have a second one that I more recently have like raised an eyebrow over. This whole like girl saying that there's a person not human on this flight. Have you seen that thing?
No.
Wait, say that again.
On TikTok, there's a girl who got up from her flight. She was screaming. and she was like not an old lady, like not a Karen or anything like that, but she was like a decent looking, like well put together lady who grabbed her bag. He's like, I need to get off this flight now. And she's like, I don't care if you guys believe me or not. I don't care what anybody says. And they're already in the air, by the way. Like she's making them go back to take her down. She goes, but that mother effer back there, that mother effer, person's not real. And everyone like looks back and then just looks forward again. And they let her off the plane. Okay. Which went viral. Like I'm talking like
I think I saw this.
millions upon millions of views overnight.
Oh
okay?
yeah. Okay, I know who she's
okay.
With a brown shirt.
It's been about a month. No, it's been about a month now. Black shirt, I believe. Been about a month now. Might be brown actually.
I think it's brown.
You tell me we could find every single person in the history of the internet that's gone viral and have an interview with them, but this lady just disappeared. Hasn't been heard from. Hasn't been found. No one's asked a question about it. They just kind of let it go. And the alleged thing was that she saw like a lizard man, there's like a shapeshifter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that the person next, like she had claimed that the person
blinked. This is the video?
This is the video.
And there's a reason why fuck off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it.
Can you guys hear it?
Two fucks, but I am telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real. And
that's the one.
On this plane, and you can fucking die with them or not. I'm not going to.
Perfect. So one.
So do you believe that?
Yes. One, you're telling me that the flight attendants, she's making a claim that somebody's not real back there. That there's a physical threat on the plane. You're gonna die with him. They didn't investigate the guy. They just let her off the plane. That's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is, where is she?
Yeah.
Why isn't she had an interview? Why hasn't she been on social media? No, where has she been? So I don't know if I necessarily believe the person wasn't real, but my eyebrows raised for the first time, and it's like, where is she?
Mm-hmm.
Can somebody tell me where she is, what she's doing? The second one, the big one that I firmly believe in is they killed Princess Diana. It was no accident, bro. The royal family.
I was not expecting that.
Listen,
he skipped over Tupac, Kurt Cobain, went straight to Princess Diana.
Listen to me, okay? They killed Princess Diana, and I'll leave it at that, okay? That family killed her. They had her killed.
They as in aliens, or they as
the royal family had her killed.
What does that have to do with aliens?
That's not what he's asking.
No, just conspiracy theories in general.
Conspiracy theory. Oh, I thought you were specifically talking about aliens.
No, we're just talking about conspiracy theories in general that people believe in.
Mm-hmm.
So give me your argument, Matt, on why they killed her.
Well, she had left the prince for one. That already is a bad look in the media. Yeah. They are very media-focused, media-driven people, and the media scratch their back. They scratch the media's back. If the public image of England doesn't perceive the royal family as good, they lose their luster and lose their power.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they always have a big party with the media at Buckingham Palace, because they want to keep their bellies full and their pockets full. So when Princess Diana leaves and speaks out against how bad the royal family is, that's already a bad look. Second thing is, Princess Diana's about to marry this Egyptian guy. They are firmly racist in the royal family. And that would just be a bad look for them if a former princess of the royal family marries outside of the country, number one, but number two, to an Egyptian guy. So I think all that, and then on top of the alleged cheating scandal she had with the equestrian guy, I think they were just like, you got to go. Like, we're fed up with you. And they did what they thought was best for their brand, which was to get Dan out of the picture.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I definitely believe that too. I want to say a couple years back, I saw a video where they're interviewing somebody in the royal family, and they said, "Yeah, we need to find out who murdered her." And then
Harry. Harry said it.
And then the interviewer was like, "You mean the car crash?" And he's like, "Oh, I mean the car crash." And it kind of just kind of weird, but
did you slip?
Yeah, slipping. So what I did is I went online and I typed in some of the top 10 to top 50.
This is off topic, but real quick, I want to show you guys this video because you guys just saw that video we just watched. Hold on. Let me pull it up real quick.
While he's
And-
pulling it up, let me.
You guys see this? You guys see this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm getting the pug off this plane. Everybody, right now, you can believe it or not believe it, but that mother pug
Watch
back
this.
there is not real. I'm getting the pug off this plane.
That's good. That
People are
is
so
good.
good, man. So good.
That is good.
All right, before you say what you're gonna say, let me throw my other, because I misunderstood the
Just like always.
topic.
Give me your topic.
Another conspiracy theory that I believe is the Columbia, the Challenger, the spaceship that blew up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those guys are all still alive.
Oh, so you believe they're all still alive?
They are all still alive.
Why do you believe that?
There is a video that's floating around of people that look astonishingly like the crew and the captain, with names that are almost identical.
So in
Wow.
Matthew's world, in Matthew's logic, why would they do that?
Why? I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't have an answer, but it's weird how much these people
See?
look alike.
You see?
All right. So I definitely believe there's some stuff like that does happen, but
Yeah.
I believe the people in the submarine didn't really die.
Oh yeah,
That's
totally.
just me. But
They in Fiji living it up.
yeah, they're out there sipping on little margaritas and little pink hats on their thing.
Turks, they're in
So-
Turks.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw some topics out, and these I'm just gonna randomly pick some of them. But the number one conspiracy that people think is not real is they believe that 9/11 is an inside job.
It's faked. Or inside
Yeah,
job.
it's
Yeah,
fake.
yeah.
Number two was NASA never landed on the moon, so the moon landing is fake.
I
The
wonder
JFK,
if the JFK must say FBI or
Mhm.
CSA
Yep.
or
CIA,
CIA.
it's all good. A lot of the alphabet teams.
A lot of C's.
That's number three. Number four is the Illuminati. I definitely think that the Illuminati is real. They're not called Illuminati, but I think there's a group that definitely controls how everything works.
Mhm.
Number six is after number six, it kind of gets weird.
All
So,
right. Now
so
we're
number
talking.
6 is Area 51. We all believe
Mhm.
alien things that's going on in the world.
Mhm.
Number 7, a lot of people believe global warming is a hoax.
Okay.
Okay, that's kind of weird. And then
Yeah.
number 8 is that the Holocaust never happened.
Yep, don't believe that one.
Yeah, don't believe that one. Number 9, Paul McCartney's not dead or is dead.
Is
and they
dead.
did a-
I've
did a
read
body.
that one. I've
Yeah,
read that one
and it's
before.
kind of weird. I'm gonna skip some of them because I feel like they're inappropriate. But number 11 is the Loch Ness monster. Do you guys believe in the Loch Ness monster?
I believe in Nessie.
Yeah,
I believe
Nessie.
I believe in Leviathan, which is the same kind of thing, I think.
Perfect. You say tomato, I say tomato. Pretty much tomatoes.
Right.
12 is Courtney Love killed Kurt Cobain. We kind of believe so. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get kicked off Twitch for that one.
Yeah.
One is let's go. Michael Jackson faked his death.
Mm.
Let's see. Oh, this one that came out to be true was MK Ultra. That was crazy. That was a crazy conspiracy. Elvis is still alive. Hitler's still alive.
Nah,
This one was
no way.
weird. Number 23, and there's 50 of these. 23, right? This is 2 spots above Who Murdered Princess Diana. Is people believe that redheads are aliens.
Mm.
That's kind of weird, don't you think? That it's in front of Tupac faked his death.
Oh gosh.
It's in front of people. Number 29 is Harambe. His death was an inside job.
Yeah, I mean,
All right, this is okay. That's where the list gets cut off. The list from there on doesn't even matter at that point.
So look at this, Matt. This is my last point, and we're getting off this topic because this is a conspiracy in itself. Number 29 is Harambe was an inside job. Number 31 is Epstein didn't kill himself. So more people think that Harambe was an inside job.
That's crazy.
Yes.
I'm surprised there's no flat Earth in there.
Yeah, there's a couple flat Earth ones, but they it repeats it. So I was like, yeah, this is kind of weird. But yeah, it gets super crazy, and people have the weirdest conspiracy theories. But
I will say there are some that are like fun to entertain.
Yeah,
Like, there was a conspiracy theory that I like got lost into about the Mount St. Helens eruption.
Yeah.
And there was like supposedly there was this big naval or not navy army operation of like relocating Sasquatch.
Oh my god!
And so like
you had me. I thought something cool was coming this way.
It was a. I'll send you the video. It was entertaining.
I'm not going to read it, but
sure. No, you just listen to it. Just put it
on. The last one I think me and Matthew talked about, where we were kind of like, I think it could have happened, was the Titanic one, where they think the Titanic was that other ship. Yeah, or whatever it was called.
Oh, I switched them or whatever.
Yeah, they switched them.
What about there was like the fact that all of JP
Morgan?
Yeah, all of his,
all him and his buddies. Yeah.
So she can go down that rabbit hole. So with the aliens thing come out, if they can get my cell phone from not dying after 3 years, and they can figure out how we can get cars that fly from talking to the aliens, I'm kind of down with it. If we can't get that, then I don't really care. It's not really doing anything for me.
Here's how important it was to me. That came out, and I said it in the group chat just so we can have a topic about it. And then my next thought was, man, Warner the Kelly Green's coming out for the Eagles. That's in my entire week has been obsessive about that. So.
I know, right? It's so weird that but what's weirder is that aliens have been popping up everywhere now. I went to the gym yesterday and there was just like an alien marathon. It was weird, dude.
It's because those UFO docs came out last year when they released those all the UFO docs. So everyone's hinging on that. But this guy and his two colleagues that actually, what is it called? Under oath. That's what got me. I was like, okay, you're under oath. Like, this guy's either going to go to jail for a long time, or he's just going to not be heard from ever again. One of the two.
Yeah, this guy's going to have a boating accident, or he's going to be paddleboarding with Obama's chef and overheard something and drown. You know what I mean? Like, sucks, man. I hope it doesn't happen, but I hope we get cool aliens, because that'd be dope if they had a new sport to play, or they were just really good at football or something like that. It'd be pretty cool.
And at the end of the day, aliens being here, gas is $4 a gallon. Let's worry about that first. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about the aliens right now. Brother.
Yeah,
let's get them home.
Need to get that. Get them home. Bring that down a little bit. You know what I mean? But yeah, all right. So
I'm finished. To work on.
I'm finished with the expert. We talked about conspiracies today.
That was fun.
Over to the game master, and let's see me lose at the last minute to Andrew.
Yep.
All right. So this game, gentlemen,
nothing new there.
This game is interesting because it's the first one besides Andrew's hamburger game, which was god awful, where it's opinionated. So this game is called Convince the Goat. So I'm going to throw a topic out there, and I'm going to assign somebody to convince me to agree to a topic or convince me to disagree with the topic. I don't care where you actually stand.
Just on principle.
I don't care where you actually stand on the topic. If I assign you to convince me to disagree, you need to convince me of that. End of discussion. Cool?
Before, can I do like a trial run real quick? Because I'm about to convince you that you embody the meme where it's that guy holding up the sign that says, "I will argue with anybody for $0."
I'm not arguing. You guys are arguing amongst each other. You guys are just convincing me, okay? All I'm doing is listening to you two. I will give a pushback here and there. I won't give like a big argument thing because I know it can get debateful. But this is a game for you two to convince me. Okay? That's it.
Yeah.
For sure. All right.
It's gonna be like, how big is Andrew's forehead?
Oh gosh, no.
Huge.
No. That's immeasurable. Like that's affinity. Anyway,
yeah, that's not opinionated. That's
first thing. Ready? Here we go. James Gunn's DCEU will surpass the MCU in the next 10 years. Andrew, your job is to convince me to agree to that statement. Steven, your job is to convince me to disagree with that statement. Whoever wants to go first, take the stage.
Steven, convince him.
All right. I'm not going to convince you because that's not my side. I am going to tell you that it's not going to surpass the MCU in the next 10 years. I have a feeling that it's going to flop. And what I think, Matthew, is you need to get on board with already the disappointment that James Gunn has came out and said that The Flash was amazing. And we both know The Flash was dog shit.
My pen. Hold on. I gotta write these notes down. That's a good point. continue.
Okay, awesome. I'm glad you got that. That the Flash was dog shit. You know what I mean? We wasted $16 at the movie theaters watching something they could have texted us about or put it out on Twitter. The second thing I think is why you're going to be extremely disappointed and not believe that they're going to surpass the MCU is you already have so much built up for the MCU. The MCU just got to make that. They just got to adjust and take in the wind, and they're home. They're set. The DC needs to make you fall in love, and they're already giving us titles that we kind of are interested in, but we're already seeing the writing on the wall with the direction some of these movies want to take. Sorry about that. So I don't think. Actually, I know you're not going to love the DC universe for the next 10 years. And you're not going to think it's better than the MCU because they're not going to have a Guardians of the Galaxy. They're not going to have a Robert Downey Jr. that makes you cry when he snapped his fingers or saw his daughter. They're going to give you stories, but they're also going to give you things that you don't want. James Gunn is amazing, but he's not Jesus.
Fair enough.
Wow, that's a solid argument.
That's good. That's real hard to argue against. Andrew, your job is to convince me to agree, and you can either counter his points or you can just make an original case for yourself.
Gentlemen,
up to you.
I'm gonna do what the man, the myth, the legend, James Gunn is gonna do. You already know all the reasons why this could flop, but let me highlight some of the reasons why it's going to be and surpass the MCU. The first being, let's talk about the MCU. It's not in a great place. It's not that hard to surpass it currently because what we're getting is garbage. Second, you have the man that has probably put some of the best MCU films out. Not to mention one of Matt's all-time favorite in Guardians 3. That is the man behind, in your own words, is the best.
That's true. It's true.
Mm-hmm. So you have him at the helm, not just of one franchise, but the entire thing. Here's another reason why Matt is going to swing to my side is because we have not yet seen a glimpse of the characters that the DCU has to offer, and they have some of the best villains. And somebody who appreciates villains, James Gunn's going to do it justice. It's going to be slow. I think he's going to make some mistakes, but I think he's going to do it.
All right. Well, gentlemen, based on those two arguments given to me, I'm going to have to go with the disagree factor. The compelling argument for me was, and honestly, this was just nail in the coffin for this thing, was the Flash hype was way too high. It was way too high. And for him to say it's the greatest comic book film of all time, it puts me in a doubtful state. So 1 point, Steven, that's yours. 1 point.
Hey, but it is doing very good digitally right now. Everybody is buying the Flash. The Flash numbers digitally for people buying it, pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Gentlemen, next one.
All right, that's my turn for the layup.
No. Well, this one's not a layup because you guys don't know which way I swing, and this can go either way. Gentlemen, I've been told that Encanto is better than Coco. Andrew, your job is to convince me to disagree with that statement. Steven, your job is to convince me to agree to that statement, that Encanto is better than Coco. Andrew, we'll start with you.
So I actually have a leg to stand on here because I am 50% Colombian, and this is a Colombian movie. And as a Colombian, I can tell you my whole family, we were ecstatic for this movie, and none of us liked it. Not only that, there's not any kind of villain. If you want to count a villain, the only person that's in there is the grandma. Weak. That's weak writing.
Can I say one thing, though?
Yeah.
I think all three of us can relate on being Hispanic of some sort. Isn't that not a grandma in a Hispanic household, though? Isn't she kind of rude? And she seemed like the villain growing up until you understand her story?
Yeah.
No.
She is.
My grandma was the villain, just period. I didn't have to understand.
I actually forgot about your grandma. We won't go that direction, but
so
go for it. Keep it going.
Honestly, there are some good songs, but there's really not much else that is memorable from Encanto. You have like a couple good songs and that's it, versus like if we're talking about like Coco, that is like a tug on the heartstrings, bringing family together. The way that Encanto brings family together is not meaningful whatsoever. It's the house is falling apart, and that's it. Versus you have people that are conquering death and coming back from it for family.
It's true.
Not only that, you have people that are on the verge of the final death being forgotten, who are saved for all eternity.
That is
put that into perspective.
That is a good scene. That's a good scene.
Very good scene.
Not only that, but you get to see what happens during the final death, and you realize that it's much worse than it is to be totally forgotten. And for me, that was like something that's like, man, legacy is important. I don't want to be forgotten. The last thing I will say is there's no real weight to Encanto. Realistically, you have a brother that's lost that comes back, and that's all. And it's not even for a good reason. It's because of his power. You'll notice I haven't talked about the main character because she's not worth talking about.
All right. I think, Steven, you're up, my friend.
Okay, so I got to convince you on why Encanto is a great movie, right?
It's better than Coco.
It's better than Coco. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's first off, let's break down the premise of Coco. Can you tell me what it is? And that is to not be forgotten, right? And that's a great. Let's lay that out. It's to not be forgotten. Man. Remember me. It's a great song. Probably a better song, hands down, than Encanto could ever put together, right? Because he did an amazing job on selling family and that not to be forgotten, right? And I'm bringing that up. But what Coco doesn't bring to the table is it doesn't give you that everybody in the family is like a house. Without everybody in the family, the house falls apart. Correct? Where one brother is missing and yet the house is never complete. And so instead of teaching you about remember, it's don't forget and accept everybody for even their faults. Why? Because they're your family. So yes, you are Colombian. We're Mexican. We understand that it's like two peas in a pod. The culture is very similar, right? The grandma, yes, she's trying to do her best by keeping everything together. Also showing that one woman can keep a whole family together, but one person's mistake can make them feel like they're the black sheep. And as a main character, you're talking about main character. What did Miguel do besides sing a song? Could you tell me what he did?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
The man died and came back to life for his.
Yeah. Did he die and come back to life, or did he steal a guitar and go to the other world because he's a thief?
Killed him.
So let's just because he's a thief. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's called sin.
It didn't. But real quick, Miguel didn't die.
Anyway, he didn't die. He went to the other world for stealing a guitar. And what did my girl do? With no superpowers? No superpowers. She's technically the Batman in this movie. She just has a whole bunch of heart, and she impacts the sister, the older sister, the cousin, the little cousin. She impacted everybody without having one special power. So if you want to say something, she probably did have a power. And not what that power was? Loyalty to the family and love. So she accepted everybody for their faults, brought them all together, and rebuilt that house. So if you want to ask me if is it a better movie with music? Nah, Coco's hands down a great musical movie. But is it a complete movie? I'll let Matt decide that.
All right. Well, that was a good. That might have been better than the first argument, gentlemen. You guys really had me split here. And coming into this, I thought they were equal. Those movies, one was never above the other for me. They kind of do the same thing for me. Andrew had me in the first half. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, he did. It was really good. Andrew. Really good.
I think what brought it together for me was two things. The legacy thing was big for me.
It's good.
But then Steven said two things. Accept me while I'm here, not while I'm gone. And I have no powers. I don't do anything special. I just touch the hearts of everybody in my family. And because of that, I dubbed Steven the point.
God.
Now, Andrew, I'm going to give you the layup for the next one. Okay?
Okay.
Because I think you need to catch up here before we get to, what we get to. So here's the next topic, gentlemen. Andrew, you're going to be the side of agreeing with this statement.
Okay.
Steven, you're going to be the side of disagree with your statement. The Godfather 2 is better than The Godfather 1.
You guys
Oh,
forget I've never seen these movies.
Oh, you never.
This
Okay,
is getting.
we'll scratch it.
No, keep it. Oh,
I have-
come
I have-
on.
I have
Come on. That was
He's
it. That was a dunk. That
He's
was
frozen. He's frozen. Anyways,
He's acting like
who's
I'll,
frozen?
so we can get out
I'll
of
give
this.
us another one then, and we'll touch on gaming real quick, okay?
Okay.
If it
Black
means anything, I
Ops-
think Coco's a way better movie than Encanto was. If it means anything.
Black Ops
Coco?
2.
Yeah, hands down.
Yeah.
Black Ops 2 is the greatest Call of Duty of all time.
You better not make me for it. If you make me for it, I'm getting off the podcast.
Andrew's for it. Steven, you're against it.
All right, I think Steven's up to go this time.
No, and what was
Steven
it?
is
Black
up.
Ops 1 or Black Ops
2?
2?
Black Ops 2.
I don't remember playing Black Ops 2. I'm gonna get destroyed on this one because I don't remember playing it, but so I gotta convince you that Black Ops 2 is the best Call of Duty game.
No, you
It's
can
gonna be
make me
hard.
that any other game but Black Ops 2 is the best Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
All right. So we all played a Call of Duty game here, correct?
Yes.
Except for Andrew, because Andrew only plays Rocket League.
No, I played Call of Duty.
Okay, what was the Call of Duty that you played?
Black Ops 2.
Black Ops
Arguably
2?
the
Okay.
greatest video game ever released.
That is a great point, right? That is a great point. And I have nothing for it because I think the game's dog shit. To be honest with you, I don't know for Call of Duty. I don't.
So what would be your greatest Call of Duty of all time in your minds?
In my head, it would be Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 3. The
Why
OG.
are those two games better than Black Ops 2?
I feel like they're better than Black Ops 2 because they were the innovators. They were the first to come, the first to get the hook. And I feel everything that came after Modern Warfare 2, 3 was, a little iffy. They got a little too hyped. But after 2, I just think everybody was piggybacking. They were not innovative. Hey, dude, my stuff keeps going to sleep. They were not innovative. They were just capitalizing. And I feel that Modern Warfare 2 doesn't get the credit it deserves due to the fact that everybody knew the blueprint. They knew what sold, what people were into. They were the ones who did it first. And I feel that when Black Ops came out, they were just piggybacking off it with Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3. Now, if we're arguing if Black Ops 3 and 4 were different, yeah, I would say they did something different that Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1 didn't do. But we're arguing about why Black Ops 2 isn't the greatest. And I just think they just fine-tuned one and put it out there as a copy, which I did not purchase because I didn't want to pay for something that was just repackaged and delivered. And I digress.
All right.
That was a wonderful soliloquy. I feel like I've become dumber from just listening to it, though.
Oh God.
Because let me just say one name, and this one name carries so much weight.
Let's hear it.
Gentlemen, it is Treyarch, the best developer for Call of Duty. They literally haven't had a miss in terms of feel and how the game plays. People still play it and still enjoy it. Not only that, iconic maps. Hijack. How can you forget Hijack? You can play that map over and over and over again every day. And I'm going to touch on the non-innovative side. This was the first Call of Duty to really go far in the future in terms of like advanced warfare, to where you had advanced guns, futuristic guns, drones. They were innovating, and they led to a whole bunch of their same developers to mimic it and fail doing it. You had things like Advanced Warfare, which didn't feel right. It was too weird. You had the third grader who made Infinite Warfare, which again, another far in the future. But then you had Black Ops 2, which was the first to do it and the only to do it right. I could go on a whole nother topic about zombies, but I'm not going to because Matt doesn't like it. But if Matt was a zombies player, peak zombies with some of the best. Not going to talk about it, though. That's all I really have to say because it's so obvious that Black Ops 2 is the greatest game that Call of Duty has ever put out and will probably ever put out.
Bold statement there, Cotton. All right.
Can I ask one question though? I just want one question.
Mhm.
Who is the who were some of the people in the game?
Mason.
Mason.
No. Sorry, Mason. Mason's a little bit in the game. It's Mason's son.
Okay, so you're gonna say
And Woods.
You're gonna say
Woods.
Black Ops 2, definitely great games. You know what I mean? But
Whoa,
I would have
this isn't. We don't get no
I'm just-
rebuttal.
I'm
This
not
isn't a
rebuttaling. Matt already has his answer.
Matt,
I just want to ask one
you
question.
take those headphones
One
off.
question. One question. Did any of those guys get a solo game after Black Ops 2?
Irrelevant.
Ghost. He's talking about Ghost.
Because Ghost did.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2, he got a solo game, my guy. You
And
want to
guess
know
what?
I wanted to ask you one question.
Ghost is probably one of the most universally hated games. I love it.
You're losing. I was about to say, you're
Hey,
losing me.
goodness.
You're losing me.
I just want to know when, during any of the Warzone, the Treyarch Warzone, any of these Warzone games, have they brought back like the
What are you
Mason
talking about?
skin?
Woods was a pre-order bonus for the
For which
original Warzone.
That
That was like the
Original
first
Blackout.
person to bring out. Yeah.
Woods
So
and Mason
Blackout.
were in Blackout. Yeah.
They weren't
And
Blackout.
but if you played Blackout, you got a pre-order bonus for Warzone where you got him.
that they weren't in. No, they weren't, because that was a different company.
I
But
don't
what's
think-
weird is there's been 3 different companies to do Warzone, and yet Ghost is in every game. Oh, and he's a Modern Warfare character.
IW
You know,
created Warzone, so it's
Yeah,
gonna
so
happen
that's
naturally.
it.
Captain Price too. All right, gentlemen. Some arguments I could have accepted that you guys didn't make. I think both you guys kind of just threw spaghetti at the wall. See if one's
Yeah, I didn't fucking
Stuck.
care.
Steven, I would argue that Modern Warfare 2 and 3 lobbies were just way better. Just better
Yeah.
shit talking. I also would have accepted that the movement in Modern Warfare 2 was revolutionary. The maps in MW3, best maps of all time.
Yeah,
You didn't mention any of those things.
I know, because I didn't really care, to be honest.
The agree side of it, Andrew, you could have just had one thing that would have just taken me away. And the first COD to introduce the league play was Black Ops 2.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
There'd be no ranked play without Black Ops 2. With that being said, I will give the point to Andrew because he made more compelling arguments with the maps, specifically Hijack. That's a good call out.
Mhm.
And it was peak zombies. I will say that. I don't like zombies, but
It
Treyarch
was.
is the best dev, in my opinion. So it got me.
I
there.
think for the zombies, Black Ops 2 was good. I don't think it was peak. I think World at War was peak because it was the newest. They gave us some of the best storylines with it. But yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
the funny thing is, I think Black Ops 3 is peak all around.
Yeah, 3's good too.
Yeah, I think Black Ops 3 is really, really good movement wise. Amazing.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got 2 more questions. The second one's only if Andrew ties it up. So it's up to you, Andrew. But this one's not an easy one. This comes in from my good friend Markel. I think he has a good question here that should be asked.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
And I'm gonna give Andrew the layup again because I want to see the tie
Oh
happen.
my god,
Okay.
this is horseshit. He goes
All right.
first.
Ready? Andrew, you're gonna be on the disagree side. You're going to
Okay.
disagree with this statement.
Okay.
Got it. Steven, you're gonna be the agree side. You're gonna agree with
All
this
right.
statement. Okay. Robert
at you.
Downing Jr. is a better representation of the Black experience in Tropic Thunder over Kunta Kinte in Roots.
Have you seen Roots?
I haven't seen Roots.
I have.
It's okay. You just need to argue that you agree with or you disagree with that statement. It's not hard to
I
argue that statement.
disagree?
Andrew. Yes.
But I don't know what Roots is.
You see.
Oh, hey, no,
Yeah,
don't.
Andrew,
'Cause,
you-
hey,
All
hey,
right.
the Godfather thing,
you don't
I would have
even-
demolished him.
You don't even
And
have to know what Roots is. The statement is that Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder is the better representation of the Black experience. You can just start from there. Okay, let's say Django then. You seen Django?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, let's say instead of Kunta Kinte, we'll say Django.
Okay.
You get the question.
I get it. Yeah, I know.
Go for it. You're the disagreed side.
All right.
This is
Easy-
gonna be so. This is
easy
gonna get us
one.
a strike, dude.
Yeah, goodbye, Twitch.
Yeah,
Robert Downey Jr. is not black. He is a white male.
Okay.
Said it. That's
Okay.
where it is. He is a white man pretending to be a black man, and there's not a way to.
But do you
represent
think?
that.
But do you think
No,
his
no, no, no,
portrayal?
Give him his statement.
Do you think his portrayal
standing on his
represents the
soapbox.
Black community
No,
or the Black experience? I should say.
No, absolutely not. I think it's
And-
poking fun of it, as it's supposed to, because it's satire.
Fair enough.
I don't know if there's much more than that needs to be said. That I'm a black guy playing a guy pretending to be another dude being another dude.
Yeah, how many dudes was he pretending to be?
A lot. As many as it took to get that to pass through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you would say Django represents the black experience better than Robert Downey Jr. does in Tropic Thunder.
Absolutely.
What does
Jamie
Django
Foxx.
do that does that?
Jamie Foxx is black.
But what does Django's character do in context of the film?
Django's character, the one that frees his wife, who's a slave.
Yes.
Dude,
Go
I
on.
feel like this is
Do
like-
I need to continue? Frees his wife, who is a slave.
If that's where he wants
okay.
to end it, let's
You
end
can
it.
end it-
Killing
you can end it there
a
if you'd
slave
like.
owner.
Monsieur Candy, that guy?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Steve, I think you're up.
All right, let's try to not get kicked off Twitch. So let's let's backtrack a little bit here, and let's break down the story of Django. I think it's a great, compelling story. I think it's Django going after his wife to save her. The only thing is, I don't think it's a accurate representation of African American people, because not all African American people were violent. There was a lot of people who did use politics, who did use voting, who did use the religious beliefs to free a lot of slaves. So I could say that it was one example of pushing African Americans forward. But the real thing is, does it stand as an example of African American? No, because I don't think all African Americans are violent, and I don't think that it's a good look. You know what I mean? To say that was African American. No. But I will say this. Robert Downey Jr. broke down walls for diversity. He was a white man playing a black guy. Definitely different. You want to know what's crazy?
No, he was a white man playing a white man who played a black guy.
So in this being said, Robert Downey Jr. playing that role potentially paved the way for us having the first African-American Little Mermaid. Without Robert Downey Jr. playing that role, people were not, after that, everybody was accepting everything. They were accepting The Little Mermaid. They're over here accepting Snow White. So I think a round of applause actually needs to happen from the African-American community for Robert Downey Jr. here. Because without that man putting on that weight on his shoulders, we don't have this. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest here.
This can be taken out of context so easily.
Yeah, very easy. Okay, gentlemen. Well, what I thought was going to be a layup has become a very strong convincing from Steven. So, listen, I in good faith, and if you're not wanting to be canceled, because I'm a TikTok star nowadays, I have to agree with Andrew on this one. So,
oh bullshit! Don't even.
I don't want to be canceled. So we're going to a tiebreaker, gentlemen. This tiebreaker is going to be.
Oh, we need to ask the chat. We need to ask the chat technically.
Well, Markel's going to go with you. But anyways, this is the last statement that I will make for agree or disagree. Now, I think you guys both naturally might have a stance on this. If you do, just say it, and then you guys can have that stance, because I think they're different stances. You guys should know where I stand on it, but this is the one time that I'll put all my knowledge away, and I will just let whatever you guys say guide me. Okay.
No, LeBron James isn't the best basketball player in the world.
Vanellope von Schweetz is a Disney princess.
Oh gosh.
So, Steven, where do you stand on that statement? And just real quick, just say agree or disagree.
People in the chat are saying I got robbed, but hey, you know what I'm saying? What's new? I agree that she is a princess.
Okay, end it there. Andrew, do you disagree or agree?
I mean, I agree, but I will try to disagree.
Okay, cool. There we go. I think who's first time? Steven?
Steven,
you're first. Convince me to agree to that statement.
I am going to have to say the reason I agree that she is a Disney princess is, for one, she got co-signed by the Disney princesses. There's nobody else with her background being that she was a princess, and then the co-signers, the gatekeepers of the princess world said, "Hey, you're a princess." I think that's case closed. I don't understand how you can argue that she isn't a Disney princess. I would love for someone to go up to Cinderella. I would love someone to go up to Princess Jasmine and tell her that she is not a Disney princess. Are you going to do it, Andrew?
So real quick on that note, before the film of Wreck-It Ralph 2, would you have ever considered that Merida from Brave is a Disney princess?
Yes.
Okay, continue on.
So, you're shaking your head no?
Me?
No, Andrew.
Oh, Andrew? Yeah, I don't know.
So, with that being said, I actually don't need to say it. The Disney princesses say it for me. They co-sign her as a Disney princess.
Well said.
Fair enough.
That's it.
What I'm going to say is, regardless of the Disney princess making it happen, I think if you look at the character, fundamentally, her as a character, if you were to ask her, she wouldn't relate as a princess. She would relate as, first and foremost, a racer.
Okay.
And she wouldn't want to be a princess. The only thing she ever wanted in the first Wreck-It Ralph was to race and to win. She didn't want a kingdom. She didn't want to be royal. She wanted a coin so that she could get into that race. So regardless of who tells her that she is a princess, that's not what she thinks. All she wanted to be was a racer, to be a part of a game. She could care less about the fame, the royalty, because if you think about it, at one point she was. That got taken away from her, and that's not what she aimed to be.
Let him go.
What do you mean it got taken? Why are you saying
Didn't get taken, number one. And number two,
she got erased. She got glitched.
Oh, okay. But it's obviously restored.
Mm-hmm. It got restored.
Yes.
She doesn't necessarily want to become a princess again. She only sees that.
It's not true. But I'll continue on.
Her big thing, even from the code that makes her, is a racer, not a princess.
So, okay, on the note of your
wait. Do we get a rebuttal? Because this is like bonus round. I think we should.
Well, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll give you a rebuttal. But let me just ask him a question. You can rebuttal after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, on the note of you saying she's a racer first, do you believe Merida is an archer first?
Yes.
Do you believe Pocahontas is a Native American first?
Of course.
Do you believe that Elsa is a lover of the forest first?
No. She's an ice princess.
Ice comes before it, though, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So, in the same breath, you're telling me you can only be one category for Vanellope, but you can be two for every other princess, except for maybe like Cinderella.
That's not what I'm telling you. I'm saying her belief in what she is a racer.
Fair enough. Steven, you can rebuttal, and then Andrew. So you have a rebuttal, Steven, Andrew, you have a rebuttal, and then we'll end it there. One rebuttal each.
So my rebuttal here is going to be.
Let's see you looking up answers, by the way.
No, I'm trying to mute my IGN. Okay. I don't need to look up an answer because technically I could look up a video of people of the Disney princesses telling her that she identifies as a princess. But I digress on that one. But at the same time, we're also going to stand here in front of a man who told us that Django is an accurate representation of Black culture. I think not. So I think right now that this man's ideological, his judgment, his taste, we can't trust it. So you're going to tell me that you stand on that Django is a representation of Black culture, and then you're also going to tell me that Disney princesses can't tell if she's a Disney princess?
No, she can tell. She just chooses to be a racer, first of all. And the fact that you're coming at me.
So first off, I'm not done, my rebuttal, but I will take in that quote from 3 seconds ago that says, yes, she is a princess, what you just said, but yet she identifies as a racer. So I'm also Steven, son of Steve, son of Glenda, but I also identify as a gamer. But first, I am someone's kid. So yes, she is Vanellope Von Sweets, a princess who identifies as a race car driver. So just like how women in the WNBA identify as a woman who plays basketball, she identifies as she is a princess who races in a car.
Right.
I rest
That's a
my
good argument.
motherfucking case.
All right. Andrew, you are up for your rebuttal, and this is going to be for all the marbles.
So let's talk about princesses. They usually have the title princess in their name. Princess Jasmine, Princess Ariel.
Yes.
You're giving this 2 out of like 10.
I'm drawing a blank on the other. But
Snow White. What happened to Snow White? Is
she wasn't already a princess. She married into that.
Are you sure you know the story of Snow White? Right.
She. What do you mean? She lived in a cottage.
Okay, I'm gonna let you keep going.
Well, it's his rebuttal. You're gonna have to.
Yeah.
That is true.
So I don't associate, and I don't think, again, Penelope von Sweets would associate her name with Princess von Sweets. It doesn't even have like a real good rhyme if you're thinking about it. Because again, her as a fundamental person, she's not thinking that she's a princess. Yes, she might be a princess because the game's code reads it. But again, everything that she does is for the race. It's not for the people. It's for the race. And my final argument is, I think that there's 2 versions of Penelope. You have a Vanellope, sorry. You have a princess version who was the princess of the game, but that's not the character that we know. The character that we know becomes glitched. Her code is changed, and she's no longer a princess because that was taken from her by Turbo. And now she's just a racer.
All right. Gentlemen, you give me some things to think about. They're actually both pretty compelling arguments. Just to wrap some of it up, I wrote down for the agree side, Django. Co-signed by princesses identifies racer. Good arguments there. For the disagreement part, I think that it was pretty shoved down my throat that she wouldn't identify as a princess herself. And I think that, watching the film, I think that's somewhat correct. She didn't want the kingdom. She wasn't for the people. She's for the race, which is not very princess-like. Both pretty good, honestly. If I didn't have a stance in the first place, I'd be pretty like tied. I'd have this go on for a little bit longer. But time constraints are of the matter. Out of pure spite of what happened last week, Steven, you have won the point for this week. So Steven is the winner. This week. Now, let me just say this. I do fully agree that Vanellope is a princess. I could have picked apart all of Andrew's statements pretty easily. I chose not to because it's not my job today or Steven's job. That's my game, ladies and gentlemen. First of its kind. I liked it personally. It gets me out of the debate. And
I'm doing that. I'm gonna shit on you guys so bad. I'm shit all. Just letting you know, Andrew. Technically, Snow White is the first Disney princess. They're just giving you a heads up. She is the first.
I don't think she was originally a princess. She married.
She's a princess, and the witch literally goes, "Who's the fairest of them all?" and calls out her. She has a bodyguard in the woods. That's why he goes and tries to kill her.
The huntsman.
She's the huntsman. He is there supposedly to protect her. And he's the one who turns his back to try to kill her and then tells her, I can't do it because he doesn't want to betray the king and kill the little girl. And she runs away. That's why.
It has been far too long, apparently.
Well, it's coming out soon with Snow White and the 7 hipsters. So that'll come out pretty soon.
But that Godfather one, if it was the Godfather one, Angie, you were fucked.
We're gonna have to do a stream where we're watching that so that I can watch this because there's not gonna be any way I'm gonna watch it. All right, well that is our show. Unfortunately, I lost. I feel like my argument was pretty strong though, especially
for Black Ops. For Black Ops, it was
with the two Vanellopes. That was pretty creative. Just thought of that on the spot. Well, did you guys have any closing thoughts before we sign off? I know we're about 20 minutes over that we normally go.
Yeah.
Real quick, I am ready to give away my TikTok. Sorry for listening at the Loadout Show on TikTok. It's me. The more followers we get, the more money I give. It's $1 per follow to whoever wins it. So pretty good. It can go up to a certain amount of money that I won't disclose, but it's a good chunk of money in my pocket either way. The number is so outlandish, I don't think we're going to reach it anyway. But if we do, there is a hard cap on the dollar amount. But yeah, go there and then just enjoy the content. It's good content as well. I think so.
Just making new TikTok accounts all night.
Sure. Helps the algorithm either way for me.
Yeah, for sure. And then once again, if you are watching this, I know there's only 3, but if this is up there, you like it, subscribe, give it a follow. It's going to be on. We're getting back onto the podcast. We've been kind of slacking because things have been coming up. But we'll be back on podcast. You can find us YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and you can also find us on Twitch.
For now, we might not be on Twitch for very much longer.
After all this, we might not. So
I think of all the things that happened today, what's going to get us banned is the clear copyright infringement from 20th Century Fox in the very beginning of our episode.
That is true. And
from the beginning,
that is easily. So with that being said, we'll run it back one more. We out. I think we are. Maybe we're not. I don't know why it's not loading. That's all good. We'll all right, clean. I just came up with an error, said that you've been copy striked already.